Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome back to Archer, the after show, where the return of Cyril's giant penis has come back to bless women all over the place. Lana is a princess willing to sell her soul to a Nazi empire, potentially. It's looking dangerous for her. And, yeah, Krieger's still a bird. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird.
We just felt it was appropriate. With the stuff happening. I love it. I don't think so. It makes me happy. It's classic. It's really great. Welcome back. It's Archer. I'm told Monique as always. Rise. Joining me to my left. I'm so excited to have you on the panel. This is really awesome. How'd you feel about this episode? Different modes of preparing the fruit.
I loved it. I love all the little side jokes. Like, it's like the kids won't get it, but the adults are like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Kids should not be watching this show or the actual show. We're going to get explicit up in here. Our girl Alexis Torres cannot be here, but follow her at 8Torres859. Find her. She's amazing. She's out sick today, so we send our love to you, Alexis. But yeah, before we get started, no, Soraya's here and it's great. Sorry, I wanted to ask you, before we get started, I know you did your first episode last week.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your Archer history.
I started watching Archer, not when it was airing, but I ended up binge watching it, watching it a little bit.
But
then I binged the
first
first 3 seasons, but I still wasn't watching it when it was streaming.
Got it.
Then when I heard about the opportunity to do AfterBuzz and do Archer, I was like, yeah. So then I binged the rest of the seasons, and it was like Archer overload. You know what I mean? I just felt horny all the time. And then I don't know if you guys like cartoons, but anyways, so I got to this season, and I think the first episode I was out of town, so I watched the first episode, and then been doing the show since episode 2.
So is your favorite character then Krieger? I asked because you started with the sex jokes, and I was like, Krieger's always there for a good pounding.
My favorite is Pam.
Of course, you're gonna fit so well on this panel. Alexis and I both have a fond affinity for Pam. We love gender neutral Pam from last season. They were amazing, and now Lady Pam is back today talking about maybe getting manicures and trying to have a lady day, and Mallory's overruling her. Cool. Do you have a favorite season? That's the last thing I'll ask you.
Let's see. Favorite season. I don't know. I'm liking the way this one's starting off. I would say the first season sometimes is always the best to me.
Classic.
Yeah, because it's like the first one that sets up everything. For some reason, the first season always seems the longest too. Like it seemed like it lasts forever. So I'll say the first season.
I think season 3 is when they go to outer space. That shit was everything.
I love that they keep moving different places. Like,
oh God,
especially Dreamland. You're just like, what?
Yeah, or the 80s themed one where it's like cocaine and just ridiculousness. Coked Out Pam and country star Cheryl Carroll was really bonkers good.
That's TV.
Especially when we go to Pam's sister's wedding. Oh, great. I love Archer. Let's get into this episode. This is our third episode of Danger Island. And we started with Archer and Pam debating the finer points of a sucker punch.
They start off fighting.
It's
literally
messy.
Yeah, they literally start off fighting. And he did hit her. Well, he did hit her back. He punched her.
Pam and Archer have this great friendship, and I'm glad that's kind of the central focus of this season. It's mostly just the two of them. I've always said in the past that my favorite episodes are when they get together, or when Archer realized that Pam's the best lay he's ever had.
Hilarious.
Or even there's an episode where he's just like, oh my God, I think you're my best friend. And every time they get together, it's just so much fun. So I like seeing them kind of duke it out on the plane to get started.
And this one, they're kind of like a brother and sister relationship to me.
Yeah,
totally. They're kind of like friends, like they're partners. Well, you're going to get into more into the episode, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. So they crash land their plane, not the Spruce Goose, but technically the Spruce Goose, and destroy half of the island's business street.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever visited an island. They tend to keep all of their businesses in one area. Islands are not that large. Yeah. Right. Well, they're just not that large. So you have a street where you can do all your shopping, blah, blah, blah. There's some towns, some communities, hotels over here. That's essentially the island, which it has very much that resort layout, despite this kind of being in an era before resort culture, at least to my knowledge. So I find that interesting. They're not happy about it. Mallory is very much not happy about it because her plane, she owns the plane, she owns the hotel, and the restaurant bar within the hotel. And that's a lot of money they're out of because, as we were talking about before, they are like transporting people back and forth, or they do import-export. So that's not really a good thing for her. Do you feel that Mallory, like, do you think she has a bigger plan, Mallory?
I think she's trying to pimp out Cheryl.
Well, she just is pimping out Cheryl.
Yeah, she has a brilliant business mind in whatever season. Like, she's always about the business. She's always the owner, obviously.
Yeah.
And even though he's having this of a daydream, he still imagines his mom being over. Now, why he's imagining her being like over a mini brothel, which is one with one, let's say one hoe, but
you can say it, one singular hoe.
That's a bad brothel if you just got one chick. But
it does not make a good brothel.
No.
You're a fine pimp if you have just one hoe, but
yeah,
not a great brothel.
Not a good brothel. But yeah, I mean, she would always. I always see her as like the person of power.
Totally. I also feel like Mallory, at least not recently, but in previous seasons. I didn't remember what her role last season was. No, last season she was just kind of owned the club again, and she was trying to protect her interests there. Yeah. But before, back when we were in the original ISIS headquarters, she would like have secret plans all the time. You know, she'd be making deals with the Russians, setting up like turning countries against one another, just flipping their business around. And I kind of miss that kind of in charge Mallory. Like,
really?
Yes, she's in charge, she runs things, but like, I just want to see her get back into spy mode. Whenever Mallory goes full spy, it always like tickles me because I feel like we don't get to see her in her original spy form very much.
And I think you have more things to play with when it's spy.
Totally.
You know, it's a lot of fun little things, fun little ways you can go with that one, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This island is kind of limited, in my opinion. You know?
Yeah, it'll be interesting once I think they get back into the jungle. Because last week's episode was like really thrilling. And now that we have this whole chase for the idol, that could be kind of exciting.
I like the whole, when you go and you have to, what's the word? Not agendas, but when you go out, when you're a spy, you go to missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fun part, you know?
Yeah, it'll be cool to see them do that, especially because Pam is always just not necessarily a prepared spy. She's just along for she's more of a wing it kind of spy. So I think that'll be exciting. Speaking of winging it, they need to make money. They're in the very now dilemma of, and I say now because we live in a society where people are not making a lot of money. They're like, we need to make money, but our plane doesn't work, but we need money to fix the plane so that we can make money. And they're on that circle of like, I'm just going to be in debt forever until I figure something out. I identified way too much with this moment.
No.
It hit me in the story, huh? What? Why? Jesus? It's pretty terrible.
You're trying to figure out, can they Uber on this island? Can they Uber left?
Work? Yeah, I could drive, or you could drive. Maybe they get a rickshaw. Like, you need to figure something out. They flash back to chinchilladas, which is the most
horrible idea,
disgusting thing I've ever heard. Would you try a chinchillada?
Absolutely not.
No.
I think I've tried it before in Mexico but unknowingly, no. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Who would want to eat rats, you know? Like, that's one meat that I don't care if it tastes like chicken or not. Like, I don't want any rats whatsoever.
This is something we've seen Pam do in a couple of episodes previously, which I think is funny. And now she's back eating enchiladas. I love that she was like, what? I mean, they were just giving them away at the fur factory.
Yeah.
Pam,
he's like,
gross.
you can get it at the glue shop. Like, rats are everywhere. It's not like you have to go somewhere for the good rats, you know?
It's true. From there, Mallory is training Cheryl Carroll to be a high-class prostitute in a torn up, ripped dress.
Yes.
With no cleavage. How that works. Oh my God. I felt bad for her. Cheryl Carroll, she's like, I didn't have much to work with. She's like, I'll say not, stuff your bra. I feel really bad for her in this situation. Like, she gets dumped. Like, if we were to frame this not in Archer world, she is a woman who was supposed to get married,
cheated on her husband, though.
Drunkenly cheated on her husband, was abandoned on an island where, you know, especially because she's from high society, and at this point, women don't have many rights. We're looking at pre-40s era. So she's going to get bad mouth, talk about how she'll have no ability to protect her name. And not only does she not have a way to get off the island, but she doesn't have a way to make money. And now somebody has literally just taken her in to be a prostitute. I feel really bad for Cheryl Carroll at this point. And I kind of want her to make it out. But knowing her, she's just going to rely on whatever anybody is able to give her at the moment.
Yeah, but she made the bed, literally. Well, she unmade the bed and she laid in it. You know what I mean? Like, she cheated on her husband. I mean, she's kind of calling it herself. And there's other shops there. She can become somebody who works behind the gift shop or something. She chooses to be pimped out for $9.
Not even, because they say 9 and 9 is none in German.
Yeah. Oh no.
So then she was like, so how much does I get? 9. And she's like, $9, I'll take it. Mallory's like, you can believe that, but I'm not giving you anything. She got pimped out for $35, dude.
Yeah.
$35 USD,
40%.
1,000 francs. Like,
yeah, she need to pimp it up. I know some girls in
look,
Van
if you're
Nuys
telling me like it had better, like we need to be at least in triple digits because no. I like that Archer was like, yeah, but you slept with me. Well, sir, I chose to sleep with you. This guy is gross. Or so she thinks. Cyril wants to sharpen his pencil, which is a euphemism I've never heard before. But Lana seemed pretty impressed with the end results of that conversation. I didn't expect Cyril and Lana in this iteration to get back together. I don't know why. I mean, they're always together or just breaking up.
I don't know. Maybe he has the magic stick. But the thing
he
is,
definitely has the magic stick.
Yeah, but this isn't in like reality. So this is Archer's imagination about it. You know what I mean? Like this is not necessarily. I think he's still in a coma, right? So
interesting. So
I think he's kind of fixated on, Lana being with him or something. You know what I mean?
Last season we definitely, because it was called Dreamland, and previously the last thing we saw was Archer getting shot. They do open up Dreamland with the sequence where they're burying his partner. So last season we were doing a lot of comparisons to Archer's subconscious and what we were seeing on the screen. I haven't done that this season, but maybe we should. Fans, let us know as you guys are watching, as you're rating us 5 stars and commenting on the YouTubes and giving us our thumbs up and all that jazz. Like, if you could just please let us know how you feel. Like, are we in Archer's imagination, or is it just a story in a different space with the same characters? Because that's sort of how I've been viewing it, especially as we look at the character of Bird/Krieger, who's so interesting. We talked a little bit the first episode. Krieger, former scientist, and mostly what we know him for is like a tinkering sort of mad science geniuses. As a bird, they made an interesting commentary. They're like, "Why aren't you a dog?" And I'm like,
"Yes, I heard that too."
I feel like a bird is so limited in what they can do with human beings. Do you think Krieger is best as a bird, or would you rather have seen him as another animal?
I would say bird because he's colorful. I like the colors. But also because of what happened in the episode when they got in a bind, a bird comes in handy. A dog.
You do not think a bird is in cahoots with people, no.
Yeah, and he talks. So, and parrots talk. So, like, if the bird started talking, it wouldn't be like a big shock. He could just go, Polly had a cracker, and just repeat himself. Like, oh, they taught him this, these great things to say. And really, he's sitting there and he's eavesdropping and he's listening to all the plans. So I say the bird is the unexpected choice.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? And plus we see dogs all the time. He's a Family Guy. You know what I mean?
All these different things. Dog is man's best friend. It's an island. Islands do have dogs sometimes, but it's just a bird. It's interesting. It also is able to give you a bird's eye view and fly, which is cool. And yeah, as far as being undercover, no one's looking to the bird.
That's a perfect spy animal.
I mean, even Cyril called him a giant jungle bat, which I love that he was offended by that. And I wondered if that was like, birds are so regal and they have feathers and they're like, great.
And they can fly.
Right, but bats can fly too. I don't know. He was just so offended at being referred to as a bat. I found that kind of funny.
But I mean, like, it's great that he can fly. Let's say he was in the room and he heard something he wasn't supposed to hear. It's hard. It's easy to catch a dog. You just run, you drive down, But it's hard to catch a bird. They fly on top of the roof. That's
They're
it.
Gone.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Lana this episode. Okay. I have words for this girl. First of all,
nice words.
Reckless.
Oh.
No, I always love Lana, but making deals with the Nazi Empire is not, it's not going to end up in your favor.
Yeah.
I understand wanting to overthrow the French, but do you think that she's making the smart move?
I think she wants revenge. I don't think she's thinking about how she gets it or who she hurts. She got hurt, so she's trying to get the revenge. That's what I think she's thinking about. I don't think she's even that impressed with America. You know what I mean?
Oh, she definitely was not. She's not about it.
Yeah, she's not that impressed with America. And the fact that her accent keeps changing, I think she might be some type of American spy. I don't know.
Interesting. It would be cool to see her be an American spy pretending to be the princess.
Of somewhere.
Yeah. Not Hawaii. Because all episode 1, I was like, oh, this must be Hawaii. Or like an island close to Hawaii. It's going to be close to Hawaii because we know that it's central. Or
Polynesian.
It's Polynesian, and it's a spot where the Japanese might want to join up with them, which I thought, again, girl, I know, like, down with America, but wow. Offering them a port for war in which to bomb America for Pearl Harbor. I'm just saying, she's getting dicey out here. She's pulling a lot of potential, like, because we know how history turns out, siding with either of them means that you are now in enemy territory, which means America's gonna fuck you twice as hard as they would have had you joined them in the first place.
Go America, you know? We don't play, okay?
Oh, God. So, yeah, and she's playing fast and loose with everything. She does have the guards in there who can overhear. She's partnering up with Cyril, which could be dangerous. She's calling Japanese. I don't know what she's on, but it's scaring me.
She fake call the Japanese. She's like, let me fake make this call. I don't know why I changed the voice for her. Like she has an accent. Let me fake make this call. You know, she's talking with a regular voice at this point.
Let's see.
I think it's just all about games, and she has this thing in her possession, this idol, or she knows where it is, or they're trying to look for the idol, and she's just trying to. I think she might be just one of those people that's just trying to get money, one of those scavengers. But she's hiding under facade or something.
I liked your spy theory a lot. There's definitely something bigger going on with her, but I don't know, because she was like, what do you guys want to do with that idol? And here's the most important thing we probably learned today. He's like, I'm going to make a museum. We swung full hard into Indiana Jones territory with this episode, and I cannot wait until we get like a Covenant or an Ark or something uncovered that kind of blows everything wide open. I have a feeling the Germans are going to show up in full force soon to like raid the island.
I'm waiting for the action too,
Yeah, everyone's focus is slowly turning toward the idol. We saw Archer go a little like treasure mad with it. He was like, oh, it could be gold or rubies or something. Like, it'll be great. For some reason, Pam's not about a gold monkey. What do you think that was about?
I think we're gonna find out later. She's fixated with, I think, more the monkey than it being gold.
Yeah. I wondered if it was an inside joke about not wanting to repeat the gold monkey, because if you look at kind of classic movies with jungle exploration and idols and the dual propeller planes, a lot of times they're gold monkeys, and it's sort of like, why? Because they look, if you look at reduced American interests in other countries, you know, we look at base gods, you know, like, so for India, we think the paint festival, we think lots of arms, we think
it's overdone,
the bindis and things. Yeah, it's just the stereotypes that we're familiar with. And so I wasn't sure if it was a commentation on that, words or things, a commentary on that, or if it was something Pam specific. So hopefully we get that figured out soon.
It sounded like she was afraid of just monkeys. Like, go with anything but not monkeys. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like she had another fear of something, like a fear of that animal in particular. I think they're going to touch on it again. If they don't, that's weird. If they just made a big, kind of a little bit of a statement about it, and then all of a sudden you don't see it again, I think that might be a little strange.
I feel you. Yeah. Would you eat at Luigi's?
What?
Would you eat at Luigi's?
If I was depressed and got broken up with and just wanted to have a dark day, sure.
What if you want to cheer poor Luigi up? Everybody hates his food. He lives on such a small island. It's got to be terrible.
No.
Because it looked fine. Like, and just in looking at Cyril's plate at the end, I'm like, so I'm seeing like sausage links, some eggs. Nothing looks bad, burned. Though. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't look like, what are you doing, Luigi?
Yeah, it looks like a Groupon.
It's just because Italian food is so easy. If you think about to make it, it might be hard to make pasta from scratch, but other than, and even that is not really that hard. It's just about rolling it out and then you let it dry.
You've made pasta.
I have a pasta maker, so it's different. Maybe it's not quite the same, but it's really not all that hard. You like,
I always want to know what's in it. Is it flour?
It's like flour, water, egg. It depends on what kind of pasta you're making. Like not a ravioli. What is the stuffed stuff with like cheese?
Oh,
I cannot remember. Right? That stuff is harder. Like trying to do the fold and like fluff it. Like that thing is hard. But if you're just making regular spaghetti noodles, it's like you make the dough, you roll it out, you let it dry, you cut it up, and then you cook it. Like, it's really not that hard. Anyway, Luigi, I don't know what you're doing with this food, but like, you need to get it together. We talked about Luigi's. Oh, my favorite part of this episode, Plan B. So we see Pam, Archer, and Bird/Krieger break into Cyril's house. They collect a map, which Pam draws a terrible copy of, which is not going to be good for them down the line. But also when they break in, Bird poops on the couch because he's scared because he pooped on the couch. It doesn't make sense. He's an animal. He pooped. That's all we need to know, really. And in order to escape, they had to pull Plan B, which we already kind of talked about, but I really liked this moment of just chaos and craziness using the bird to full effect. I'm really hoping this continues to be a theme throughout, especially, again, once I think the Germans come and invade the island, then I think they're going to have to all go undercover and start working together. That's when we'll get more Lana Archer action.
There you go.
Let's break into our quick segment where we talk about some of the references. It's the reference section. The part at the bottom with the little notes, so you know what the thing that you watched was. You got it. Rue was one of the things we learned today. Rue means street in French. Cognitive clues probably taught you that. La Rue, the band, means redhead, in case you weren't aware. Oh. But Rue is a term, what Pam was describing, is a gravy. It's essentially flour and a little bit of oil, which you cook up into kind of like a gravy thing, and then you cook a lot. Basically, if you've been to Louisiana, almost every dish is based out of a roux. It's amazing. It takes forever to make. It's like 45 minutes. You got to constantly be stirring it. You got to get deep brown. My roommate's from Louisiana.
Oh, I'm from me too.
Oh,
my family's from Louisiana.
You should have been like, girl, let me just step in and explain it to you. So that was one of our references. The other, Catch-22, Archer says, I don't think that was invented yet. That gives us a really nice timeline. Catch-22 is, of course, the book written by Joseph Heller. He started writing it in 1952, I believe, but it didn't come out until 1961. So that gives us a little bit of a time area. We know Cyril says, very soon. You won't have to worry about the French. I think Germany invades France 1932? 34?
That sounds right.
In that era.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Certainly before 1936, if genius is teaching me anything, it is. Those were our references of the week. You guys, I don't speak German. I'm going to try to do better next week and start transcribing. I was able to translate some of the French from episode 1, but I'll have to work on my German for next week's episode. But let's get into some very brief predictions.
Wait, I was waiting for the lights. There it is.
AfterBuzz TV.
In the preview, we see the return of my favorite, Barry. He's coming, and I'm so excited. What do you think Barry's role will be this season?
I don't know, but it's definitely gonna. I think it's gonna shift the mood a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It always shifts the mood. Mm-hmm. Especially again, I think an invasion is coming. We're all gonna be heading to the jungle soon. I wonder what team Barry plays for. I didn't catch if he had an accent or not. So I don't know which side he's playing for. But it'll be interesting to see that rivalry come back up. I love when Barry shows up. It's a hot mess. I don't know if Barry will wind up sleeping with Lana. Mm-hmm. But I kind of hope so because she's creating a lot of mess. So to have Archer, Cyril, and Barry after her at the same time that Barry's come in to disrupt whatever Archer's doing, it's just going to be fabulous fun. What else would you like to see for next week?
I would like to see... I know it sounds a little dark, but I want to see more of what happens between Cheryl and Mallory. I want to see if she's going to be the worst prostitute ever. Or
she did not do her job tonight at all.
She got drunk and she fell asleep, and I don't think he did anything. His pants was down, so I don't know if he really got in there.
Weird. But I do want to give kudos to Mallory for kind of being a good pimp. If we're going to call him, look, your job as a pimp is essentially to make the money. Don't break the product. Keep her safe. She did. He was like, get out. And she was like, no, that girl's drunk and passed out, and you need to leave now. You've gotten everything you're going to get.
But she didn't get the money, though. She's kind of like a bad pimp, too, because she didn't get her pay.
She didn't secure the deal. No. Yeah. She should have come more force with that gun. I thought she was going to pop him for a minute. I thought he was going to get like a shoulder wound or something.
Yeah.
But definitely. Anything else you're hoping to see next week?
I want to see Pam and Archer make another business venture.
I'm ready to see them head into the jungle, start looking for that idol, maybe fix up the plane again, although that really, you probably just need to leave it down at this point. Yeah. It's a mess. There's a lot to look forward to next week. We thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Until next week, where can the folks find you?
Oh, Funny Sarai on Instagram and Twitter. I got an accent now. It's Funny. I'm like Lana. Sayrie on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook it's just Sarai Comedian.
Yes, follow her. I'm Joelle Monique. You can follow me all over the internet at Joelle Monique. If you are in Ontario, California, the weekend of the 19th and the 20th, come visit me. I've got 2 Star Wars panels at the Comic-Con there, and a panel with Scalped, the artist and writer Jason Aaron. We're going to be talking about that Eisner Award-winning comic, as well as Darkwing Duck, which is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. We're going to talk to the creators of that. Also, go over to Nerdish, check out my documentary. I worked with some really cool people documenting Black Panther, reactions, and the rise of. Come see it, say hey, drop comments and links. We appreciate all of that jazz. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.